Morning students, I am Miss Loganagi, your class teacher and your social science teacher. You remember me? Yes. How are you all? Staying at home? Don't go out to play. Stay safe at home. Clean yourself. Eat good healthy food. Pray to God. Soon we are going to meet in schools, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Shall we learn the history lesson? History lesson 1. That is a period of transition. A period of transition. How people change their lifestyle. That we are going to learn in this lesson. Okay. Before that we should know the years when they started to change. Isn't it? Yes. We call that modern period. What we call? Modern period or modern age. Yes, in that in India modern age we refer from 18th century onwards. Okay, whereas in Europe countries we refer in 16th century onwards itself. They started early, they modernized themselves early. Okay, so that is called modern age. Okay, now can you see the features of modern age? Industrialization, that is they are developing more industries, process of setting up the industries. Urbanization, people started to leave their villages and come to settle in the cities, capitals, like that. Development of the urban centers. Urban means developed place. Scientific progress, they started to invent many things. Growth of democratic institutions. Rationalism, they started to think, not everything accepting everything as their own. They think and accept. Humanism, before that everybody will say God only the first, but after the modern age people started to give more privilege for the people. Human being and not God as the center of the world. Humans are living in this world, we should respect each other. So that all the features of modern age. Can you repeat after me once again? Industrialization, urbanization, scientific progress, growth of democratic institution, rationalism, humanism. Yes, these are the features of modern age. Now we are going to learn little about that one only. For that we have some sources. Okay, there are primary sources and secondary sources. Yes, can you see this primary sources? Okay, in that recordings, third line, can you see? Government reports, autobiographies, newsreels, newspapers, speeches, audio recordings, video recordings, photographs, sculptures, paintings, archaeological remains. These all are primary sources. Okay, and the secondary sources. Can you see the secondary sources? Historians study the primary sources and interpreted them. Okay, they read the newspaper, they read the books and biographies, then they write about that. That we call secondary sources. That is available in reports, reviews, articles, books as historians. Okay, now we'll go to the modern Europe. I told you modernization started in Europe countries only. Yes, this people only very important for the Renaissance. The word, new word I am going to introduce you, Renaissance. That means rebirth, starting to think, and revival happened in the cultural life. People started to invent, people started to think and do the new things. So the revival started in the 17th century and 14th century. The movement began in Italy and spread to the rest of the Europe. Okay, it aimed to revive the classical glory, learning and culture. Okay, in the field of art, architecture, literature, philosophy, in all fields there is a new birth. A revival happened. Okay, in Tamil we say marumalarchi, eluchi. They started to think newly. They didn't accept the old things. Okay, this kind of people will call them rationalist. Okay, the Renaissance thinkers were rationalist. They asked people not to blindly accept anything, everything told from the churches or government or anything. They asked the people to question them. Okay, they did not believe any superstitious things. These are the people very important for the Renaissance. Okay, Michelangelo, Nicholas Copernicus, Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci, Niccolo, Isaac Newton. Can you see these names? Yes, these are the people in different field. They helped people to think and to do the things. Okay, now you studied the features of modern age and primary secondary sources and the Renaissance and the people on who supported the Renaissance. Okay, next we will go to the Reformation. Okay, Renaissance, I told you, rebirth, think again and do anything in the cultural life. Now we come to the Reformation. Yes, the Reformation means people asking questions in the church, the bad practice or everyone don't like. I told you rationalist people started to question everywhere. So the people started to ask questions in the church itself. That kind of movement we call Reformation. What kind of movement? Reformation movement. The people one who question, we call them Protestants. Okay, he is the main hero for the Protestants, Martin Luther. He only told the people to ask questions. He himself asked questions. He asked the people to read the Bible, not believe anything from the Pope or any supreme authority. He urged people to read the Bible and follow its teachings. Okay, some people spoke against the church. We call them Protestants. The movement we call Reformation. Now can you understand what is Reformation? The people started to ask questions in the church. That movement we call Reformation. One who is asking the questions, they are called Protestants. Okay, in that main hero Martin Luther. He is from the German. Okay, in even Switzerland, Ulrich and John Calvin. Even in England, we never forget his name, Henry VIII. Okay, they are the Protestant Reformation leaders. After this Protestants and the Catholics separated in 17th century after, because they don't want to adjust each other. Their teachings are different. They are not teaching. They believe, the Protestants believe, they are not teaching the Bible clearly. So the Protestants wants to learn the Bible on their own. So they started to question them and they separated from them. Okay, now you understand what is Reformation? The movement against the churches. What is Reformation? The movement against the churches. And the Protestants, the people one who against the church ask the questions. Who is the leader? Martin Luther from Germany. Henry VIII from England. John Calvin from Switzerland. Okay, now you understand? Yes, now come to the voyages and discovery. In this very important, the 15th century early and all, people came to India and they had a trade. Not only India, in Asian countries. Their route is road route. They'll come. Okay, over the road they'll come and go. After the Ottoman Turks captured the Constantinople and they blocked the road to East Asia. I mean, next to Central Asia to Western Asia, they cannot come. So the people started to discover the new routes through seas. Okay, so many people spent more money and gave the ship and everything and make them to go around around India and nearby India. Even they came to South India. Vasco da Gama came to South India and he only the first man 1498 he reached India. Okay, many of them came to India, that is not only India, in around the world. 1488 Bartholomew Dias and reached the southmost tip of Africa, named it the Cape of Good Hope. Vasco da Gama followed the same route and reached India in 1498. Christopher Columbus also set out the sea route to Asia but discovered America instead. Later, Amerigo Vespucci reached America. Ferdinand Magellan, Portuguese sailor, was the first to sail around the world. For that, they need more money. Okay, these people were spent a lot of money to discover the new sea routes. This is the pictures of Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus, and America Vespucci. Okay, now you understand why they came to in through sea route, because the road route was blocked by Ottoman Turks. Okay, so they discovered the new routes to sea, and they came to India and other Asian countries to do their trade. Why they came to trade? What they have had the business? Yes, they need our spices, they need our textiles, so they came to India to take that, and they had a business to preserve meat. They want our peppers, our turmerics, our cardamoms, they need that. So they came to India and they made a trade with Indians, not even India, even around the Asian countries. Okay, now you understood. Short revise for this: features of modern age, secondary and primary sources, and Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth, revival in the cultural life. People started to question everywhere and they created new things. These are the Renaissance people. We call them rationalists, that is thinkers. They will not accept anything blindly. They'll think and ask question, then they'll come to the conclusion. Yes, Reformation is a revival in the churches. Okay, and people who ask questions against the church elders, we call them Protestants. Then they will not agree the whatever they said. So for that head we call Martin Luther from Germany, from England Henry VIII, and they separated themselves. Okay, so Protestant one group and Catholics one group. They separated in 17th century, not immediately. After long time they separated themselves. Next we come to know voyages of discovery. Okay, that is they come to they are inventing their, they are coming, so they are finding this, discovering the sea route. Okay, and these are the people in charge for that: Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus, and America Vespucci. They come to Asia, the other part of Asia, and they had a trade with them. Okay, now next part of that we'll learn.